Hey everyone, you're watching Ash on Comics. My name is Ash, and today is New Comic Book Day. That means another In and Out weekly comics pull list. It's called In and Out because I try to make it in and out, not too long, quick videos. I know you guys don't want to watch me just show you new comics all day long. This is the 9th one of the year. Today's date, February 27th. And look at this. There's 2 number 1s from Marvel. It used to be like, oh my gosh, there's 2 number 1s? And nowadays it's like, there's only 2 number 1s this week? Yep, only 2. So it's easy on the budget for all you number 1 collectors. We got Age of X-Men. This is, I think, the 5th week in a row that there's been an Age of X-Men number 1. Because they can't do Age of X-Men number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. No. That would be more consumer friendly. They have to exploit you, make sure, and they're really helping you out anyway, because all your books are going to be number 1s, so you don't have to worry about 2, 3, 4, and 5 not being worth as much money, because number 1s are always worth more. And then we got another Captain Marvel book. This chick cannot keep a book going. They keep canceling. What are they on? Like the 8th or 9th iteration of Captain Marvel? And now they've given her a second book, Braver and Mightier. Oh, jeez. They're just pushing this. Like, it's like trying to force feed someone a plate of shit. And they're just like closing their mouth, shaking their head. And you're just like trying to grab them and pry their mouth open and shove it down. It's like, no, I don't want it. No, you eat it. That's... Oh, God. Well, here you go. This is for you. Meanwhile, what's not a plate of shit, and what you don't have to force down, is a delicious double-double from In-N-Out Burger. Look at that. Just like you see on the picture. Fan-freaking-tastic. I love my local In-N-Out. They're so consistent and good. Alright, my comics. This is my second time having to film this one because I messed up. So I'm splicing it together and hopefully, you guys don't care. You don't watch this for my production values. This is a big week for me. I was a little bit worried when I got to the counter. I was like, I got all these books. I was going to have a Sergeant Bat-sized bill. But here's my receipts. You always got to have your receipts, because the SJWs will lie about you. We don't buy comics, they say. So there you go. It's actually less than I thought. $32. I did actually, though. There's 2 books I didn't get. One I put back in my my bin. I'll explain in a minute. The other I didn't even see on the shelf. It's not on my pull list, and I didn't see it on the new shelf. So I'm gonna have to find out about that. This book, Heroes in Crisis number 6. Yeah. It's Heroes in Crisis. Bats hates this book. I don't hate it. I really love the first issue. I thought it was spectacular. The issues afterwards have been hit or miss. And as my dog disagreeing with me in the background, I don't know if you can hear. The last issue I thought was pretty decent. It started off really rocky, and yeah, I think she agrees with Bats. So, anyways, I'm okay on these books. They're still, I think, well enough written. The story's not as good as it started off. I was like, man, this first one's a bang. But the last half of the last book with the Superman speech was a really impressive thing for me. I did a review on the book. I'm not going to talk too much about that here. Next is Martian Manhunter. This is a very maligned book. But I'm still getting it. I thought the first issue was kind of unfairly criticized. I think most problems people have with the art. I don't really love the art. I think this book can kind of get away with it because it's Martians, right? It's like it's trying to be this alien thing. So, and the story is interesting. I am finding the story very compelling. It's kind of a police detective story. This is the kind of story people wish Batman books were more like. And I think Steve was doing a good job. The second issue was better than the first. I thought it made the first issue better. Hopefully the third issue continues that trend. Speaking of maligned books, here we got Freedom Fighters, number 3 by Venditti and Burroughs. A lot of people bought the first issue and then were like, I'm out. They weren't interested. The first issue, admittedly, was not super thrilling. But I didn't find it was bad, per se. You know, like, it was okay. And I was like, you know what? I trust Venditti. This is a guy that made me fall in love with Hawkman, which I always thought was the stupidest character. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to rule this book out on one issue. That's just silly. This is a 12-issue story. It's got to build up to something. So, miniseries aren't like ongoing series, even though many ongoing series today are written like miniseries. Or actually, they end up being miniseries. But a miniseries, when you have a definite ending, you write it differently. You know, it's an ongoing series. You're writing for the long haul, and then if it gets cut at issue 12, you weren't really prepared for that. It's different. So, anyways, I'm okay if this takes 3 or 4 issues to build up, because a 3-act structure, 12 issues divided by 3, you know, it's 4, 4, and 4. So Act 1 is 4 issues. Theoretically. I don't know how he's exactly going to follow it. So I think of it that way. It's a slow burn. Issue 2 made issue 1 even better. Hopefully issue 3 makes it even better. And we can convince people that they missed the boat. Look at this cool cover. That's pretty... I love this. Flash outrunning missiles. I really like these. I don't really want the full art covers per se, but I like the creativity of the full arts. Like, if this was just the cover of the Flash and you had the trade dress up top, which there's plenty of room for, this would be fine. But they don't do this sort of creativity on the regular covers with the trade dress. They do cheesy covers most of the time. Speaking of, though, cheesy covers, this full art cover, I was like, oh, okay, whatever. I could kind of do without. This is Justice League Odyssey number 6. As Bats pointed out in his pull list video, the first 5 issues were this long joint picture. This is a new one, and here's what the actual normal cover looks like. And if I wasn't such a stickler for consistency of, you know, not going back and forth, I would have got this. This cover looks dope. And I don't even like Cyborg. But Last of the New Gods, I was just like, oh yeah. I was like really concerned. I was like, oh, I should just... This is a great cover. But I'm stuck with my OCD. Speaking of OCD, for whatever reason, Bats did not like this cover. I do not know why. This is a dope cover. I guess he said it looked too much like Brandon Routh, whatever. Like, really? Like, what's wrong with Brandon Routh? I thought he was fine. He was a little skinny for Superman, but, you know, what are you going to do? At least it's not this. What the F? Yeah. That's what I want in my Superman. I want Bendis, Jimmy Olsen books. Yay. Alright, so we all know this is going to be trash. Well, maybe not. Bendis has actually written some good books. But the deeper he gets in, the ratio of good to bad is flip-flopping. When it was Man of Steel, it was 5 good books to 1 bad book. And as we go with these ongoing series, the good books are becoming less and less, and the bad books are being more and more consistent. So, that's Action Comics. Fortunately, the sister book, Detective Comics, is not shitty. Tomasi is the opposite of Bendis. He is good. And he knows how to write the characters as a character. He doesn't write himself into the character. He doesn't try to change the character into something that they're not. He respects the fan base and says, this is what the character is, and that's what I'm going to write. I'm going to do my best to represent the character as they should be. Oh, look at this. John Byrne, full art cover. That's kind of rare. I'm not particularly the biggest Byrne art fan, but I recognize his greatness. It's just an aesthetic choice for me. And then, Die. Oh, man. This is the book that, if you're not reading it, you're missing out. This is a fun book. Look at that. It's a nuke going for the White House. This is bigger action. This is not even a superhero book, and this is bigger action and bigger circumstances than goes on in most Marvel books and in many DC books too. This series, the last issue, number 7, yeah, this is number 8, had this huge, just like, I almost want to say like pull the rug out from under you sort of like thing. It wasn't like a twist because you had no, it wasn't even like the plot was going in this direction. Something just interjected itself into the story and was like, you thought you knew everything was going? No, here's something totally out of left field that we're going to throw into the story. And I was like, what? And that is one of the things I love about this book. They don't solicit it in Diamond. So you don't know, there's no preview of the book, there's nothing. When it came out originally, for those that don't know, they didn't even tell retailers about the book. They simply shipped the book to retailers based on their order of Oblivion Song number 1. Whatever those order numbers were, so say if the store ordered 20 copies of Oblivion Song, you got 20 copies of Die. And so retailers got them on Tuesday, opened up these boxes, and were like, what's this? So fans walked into comic book stores Wednesday morning and were just like, what's this? And that is awesome. It is so awesome. In this day and age where, books are solicited months in advance, we're already seeing, stuff in Diamond that takes place after, the big, Leviathan event that Bendis has got going on right now. Like, I hate that. I hate that you can look and know and go, oh, this is where it's going. You're not in here. This is full of surprises. It's a fun book. And then this might be the last one. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep staying with this. But Firefly number 4. This is my favorite cover so far because it actually has the Firefly. It's kind of neat. So we'll see if this book, how strong this book is, will determine if I keep going. Now, simply just because my pull list is too big. It's too much. So I showed you the books I got. I did not get this book. I will be getting this book. I should have got this book. It's not on my pull list for some reason at the store. I need to add it. I didn't think about this. I should have because I watched Bat's pull. But when I was on the new shelf, this was not there. Because every week I always look on the new shelf to see, is there anything I'm missing? And I stare at it, and this was not there. And then this book, Bloodshot, I'm also getting. But apparently Diamond, they're such a good company, shipped a bunch of damaged books. And so I could have got this, but they get me the pre-order edition covers. And the pre-order edition cover was like ripped. So they said, yeah, you want to put this back in your folder essentially, and we'll try to get you a replacement of the pre-order. And if not, you'll still have this in your thing. I was like, oh yeah, go ahead and do that. I don't need to read this right away. So those are the 2 books that also should be here in this stack. Whew. All right. It's only 11 minutes in. Well, no, actually, that's not true because I have to add I forgot I'm splicing. But what do you think is going to be the best? I'll tell you what. This is one of the ones I'm most looking forward to because of the last issue. That new plot point that got introduced is like, whoa. Detective Comics was kind of meh last issue. I'm hoping that's an anomaly, though, and that this returns back to form. And if so, this has the potential to be fan-freaking-tastic. I'm thinking that it's likely because next issue is 1000. And I believe that's the final issue to the story arc, so it should be... this should be a big cliffhanger, is what I'm thinking. No, Dan Abnett is writing Odyssey now, so this will be interesting to see how that goes. I haven't read these. I'm gonna read these and maybe do a little review like on all 4 books together. It's probably not that. Probably not that. So, yeah, let me know what you think about these books. Which is your favorites? What you think is going to be the best? What do you think is going to be the worst? I don't really think I buy a bad book. Oh, Superman. Superman's going to be the worst. That's some people might pick Crisis. This will be better than Superman. Wait, we'll see. Hopefully this is better than Superman. And I think Detective or Die might be the best. One of those two are going to be the best. So that's in my opinion. What's yours? What am I missing from my pull that I should be getting? What should I take off my pull list? Let me know in the comments. They're down there. And I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.